Hello, I'm Jim Bethke, the Executive Director of the Texas Indigent Defense Commission. The commission is chaired by the Honorable Sharon Keller. It has 13 members, 5 of which are appointed by the governor. It has representatives from the Texas Senate, the Texas House, counties, and also it has 2 private criminal defense lawyers, 1 public defender, and 1 who's in private practice. We also have members from the State District Court, Statutory County Court, and the Courts of Appeals. The reason we're here this morning is to discuss legislation that was passed by the legislature last session, House Bill 1318. The primary House author was the Honorable Sylvester Turner. It was sponsored by Senator Rodney Ellis. The legislation requires the Texas Indigent Defense Commission to conduct and publish a weighted caseload study for establishing maximum attorney caseloads. I believe the purpose of this legislation is twofold. First, it'll be an evidence-based tool to help ensure that court-appointed attorneys have enough time to provide effective representation. And next, and possibly even more importantly, it'll be an effective tool to determine what resources are needed by those that manage indigent defense programs around the state. The Commission is contracted with the Public Policy Research Institute at Texas A&M. We've done extensive work over the last 10 years with this organization, and the work that they produce is of the highest quality. The fruits of this study are due to the Texas legislature on December 31st, 2014. Because the project is groundbreaking, it will potentially face legal challenges for the Texas judiciary, depending on how it uses the study. To provide practical and conceptual guidance for the study, I have recruited a panel of experts from Texas and elsewhere around the country that are thought leaders. I appreciate the support of the State Bar of Texas, the immediate past president, Buck Files, Bobby Mims, who serves as the current president of the Texas Criminal Defense Lawyer. With me today is nationally known and respected Dean Norman Lefstein. Dean Lefstein has been working with Texas since before the passage of the Fair Defense Act in 2001. Dean, I'd be interested in any thoughts that you might have on the passage of this legislation.
Jim, thanks very much for the introduction. I'm delighted to be here in Texas once again. Jim didn't say this, but I'm actually a resident of Indiana. I reside in Indianapolis and am a law school faculty member at the Indiana University McKinney School of Law in Indianapolis. I've spent a lot of time discussing and analyzing the problem of caseloads in public defense in the United States. The reality is that almost all over the entire country, public defender programs and assigned counsel programs sometimes have more cases than they should. And as a result, lawyers cannot do as effective a job for their clients as they wish they could do, and the justice system ultimately suffers as a result. The legislation recently passed by the Texas legislature is truly groundbreaking. I think that was the term Jim used, but it's groundbreaking because no other state in the nation has ever told a body like the Texas Indigent Defense Commission to undertake a statewide study to determine what might actually constitute reasonable caseloads in public defense. And it is an idea whose time is well past in many ways, because one of the difficult challenges for public defense programs, assigned counsel programs, and for those who fund defense services is to determine exactly what kind of budget a defense program needs in order to competently and diligently represent all the cases that are going to be assigned to that program. Well, this effort by the Commission, mandated by legislation in Texas, will try to answer that question. One of the facets of the program is undoubtedly going to be to have lawyers who participate in the study to keep track of their time. And that is sometimes not something that lawyers prefer to do, but it is absolutely essential when you try to figure out what really are reasonable caseloads, which in turn influences the budget and the appropriation necessary in order to fund defense services in a way to ensure that quality legal representation will be possible. Well, I'm extremely pleased to be a part of a national advisory panel that will participate in assisting in the undertaking of this study. I think it will be very beneficial for Texas, and it will also have important implications throughout the United States. And it's a great privilege to have a chance to say a few words about it on this video. Thanks very much.
Good morning. My name is Bobby Mims. I'm the president of the Texas Criminal Defense Lawyers Association, and I want to speak to the members of TCDLA about a very important project that I hope that some of you, in fact all of you, will volunteer to participate in. The Texas Indigent Defense Commission has been chartered by the legislature to conduct a study to try to get research and data to help us in our indigent defense programs. Historically, when we go and try to get resources for our clients, if we're court appointed, or even if we're public defenders, we don't have good data to substantiate it. There's a study that from 1973, it's really more anecdotal than it is good hard evidence. So what the legislature has chartered the Texas Indigent Defense Commission, headed by Executive Director Jim Bethke, and a blue ribbon panel to conduct research and try to get hard information. TCDLA has partnered with Texas A&M University's Public Policy Research Institute, we call it the PPRI, to conduct this survey. Now they're going to ask for as many as 500 volunteers from our members, and I hope we get more than that. But if we want each of you to agree to at least participate in this for a 12-week period. What you'll be given is a timekeeping program, some training, and asked to keep time on your court-appointed cases and your private pay cases, and turn that over to the TIDC researchers, the PPRI researchers, for them to do some, some tabulations to make those available to our public policymakers. Now, this is a very worthwhile project. It's going to be something that's, I say, is a landmark project that will be used by lawyers, be used by judges, by legislators, and public policymakers for a generation.